Are you feeling the truth frequency rising at the moment? It is raw. Okay. All right. So I've got quite a few things to cover in this video. I woke up this morning and it was like higher self came in and was just so clear. It was like when the soul speaks, you have no choice, right? And it was like you have to make a video today and you have to talk about all the themes that have come up in the last couple of days or week, because we are in a very condensed I want to say like a portal where there's an acceleration that's happening, and this week in particular is going to feel like a bit of a squeeze. So we're heading into, as I record this video today, it's the 10th of February. So for the next week, we are building to an eclipse, a Chinese New Year. There's a conjunction happening. There's so many different astrological alignments, but I don't want to speak too much about that. But I do think that they have bearing in some of the squeeze and the push. But I want to talk about the energetic template that's coming in. This truth frequency, this authenticity, or what I want to call soul authenticity alignment is no joke. Now, I've been going through it, and I know so many of you have been going through it, especially in the last couple of days. If I had one word to describe how I've been feeling, at least in the last 48 to 72 hours, 48 hours, I would say I feel raw and vulnerable. Like the heightened emotions, the outpouring of emotions. If I can get through this video without bursting into tears, it's going to be a miracle. So please bear with me. There is a downpouring of this. I spoke about this in a post that I reposted. It happened around this time last year, but this time's like 10 times as potent because of the times we're shifting into. There is a downpouring of like light blue, silver like frequency, and it cuts through all the BS. It is so powerfully strong that it, in many ways, it cuts you to your core. It's highlighting and revealing some really dark, dense, old stuff, some really ancient stuff. But ultimately, it's a reshuffling, it's a restructuring of what's happening in our biology, in our physical body, and the energetic structure of our template. So if we think about this as a hypothetical or a literal example, when we are at our conception point, at the time that the spark of light occurs inside the womb, we come into a matrix system, into this level of reality that is very harsh and very dense, especially to where many of us come from or have resided or know what exists beyond this realm. And there are points of what I call track and trace, where we've been hooked up to an energetic mainframe to allow us to exist in a density that is quite distorted, very hijacked, and very dense, that there is a lot of grotesque things that happen. We are moving out of that. So everything that has been pushed under the rug, whether it be collectively or personally, is like, it's revealing the truth that we've been asking for this, we've been waiting for these moments. It's occurring, it's happening, and there's no stopping it now. I woke up from a dream about 4 nights ago, and I was like, the level of distorted reality that is being ripped from us at this moment is undeniable, that we are moving through a complete reality shift. And the oscillation between the going back and forth of being in one to another is intense and it's extreme. And I know you're all going through it. If you're watching this video, I know that you're going through it. And I want to speak to this. I even wrote notes because it's been downpouring all day in amongst my own releasing and pressure cooker. And it's in those times of pressure cooker where we get the opportunity to reclaim our power and hold our own frequency. And that is what it's designed to do, personally and collectively. I want to give voice to what's happening on a collective scale, or what's being uprooted. So unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably aware about the Epstein files. We know that's the tip of the iceberg, and most of us have been aware of these things for 5, 10, 15, 20 years or more. But it's coming very, very potent in the collective field. And so what is happening energetically is a lot of the looshing, the entities, the really unsavory what do I call them? The highlight reel, the favorites. You know, I talk about the spider energies, the octopus energies, the snake energies, the dark controller type energies. There's so many different facets in what these look like. Satanic forces, I mean, whatever name, there's different flavors of them, and they all do different things, but ultimately we are extracting ourselves from a reality that was the most predominant frequency. So as people go through the phases of the shock and the disbelief and the hopelessness, you know, we're going to hold space for that. But energetically, what I've been witnessing that's been occurring is the energies that are a part of that system, the trafficking, the abuse to children and all that, is literally being, you know, flung up in the air. There's all this static and kind of distortion that's happening in the energetics because it's being exited. It's been given the eviction notice. And so if you're highly sensitive and you're sensitive to energy, you could feel like your skin is crawling. Not all the time, but there are times where it's condensed because there's big influxes of transmutation of those energies that are happening. And I want to give voice to that because in my work, I dabble in the dark a lot, and I support a lot of people who've been impacted directly or indirectly because of these structures. But if we look at it, we've all been impacted by these structures, at least indirectly, because we're living in a reality that exists. So if it's bringing up stuff for you and you're wounded in a child for whatever reason, like, honor that and honor. I told you, if I get through this video without crying, it's going to be a miracle. You know, honor the brave souls who've gone through those paths to reconstruct it, to bring light to it, because essentially that's what's happening. Although it may look dark, and it may be hard to digest, but this is a subject that's very, very close to my heart for many reasons. I believe that this topic is the one that has to be excavated to allow the incarnation of the souls that have wanted to come through for a very long time. So I've always been told until this part is cleared, you know, there's a changeover that takes place. The reconciliation of what has been done to children on this planet for a very long time, the cleanup, and then the reseeding of new consciousness that comes through these children. And we are literally on the changeover point of that. Oh, I wasn't even going to talk about this. Clearly it's on my heart. Clearly it's in my field. And it's loud. It's really, really loud. So anyway, I'll try and get back to my notes. Stay on cue. But it's a hot topic. And I don't want to talk about the distraction piece of all the intricate details, but I want to talk about the energetics of that system, because the quicker it can be exposed and light can be brought to it, the quicker we can heal as individuals, as a collective, and allow light to come to the children, whether that be our inner child, whether that's, you know, the children who have stand for truth and justice. There's so many facets to this. And I think I speak on behalf of the souls who wish to incarnate, that want to see a better world where this doesn't exist. And we are all part of that. We are all part of witnessing, exposing it, cleaning it, bringing it to light, whatever our role is, even if we're just energy transmuters. We're working overtime right now, which leans me into the next part of the energetic bleed through that's been happening for me for the last 2 days. There's been a lot of intensity around this topic, and the topic of the deconstruction of the large corporations that have benefited from these systems, the financial system that has benefited from these systems. And I feel like I've been in a cesspool in dream space helping the process of yet another layer of deconstruction of this, because there's so much light coming in and we have to create space for that. So that's happening on a global level, but it's also happening on an individual level as well. So I want to come back to what's happening in the biology, in the process of the recalibration of the physiology of our body. We are literally transforming into an luminous light body, whether that you call that plasma, I call it the diamond body. That is coming online really, really fast. So sleep and rest is your best friend. Okay? Sleep and rest is necessary right now to be able to process the amount of light and energy and information that's trying to process through our system, to refine it, to recalibrate it is probably the optimum word for that. We're excavating deep. Do I need to throw another deep in there? Unseen traumas, wounds, energy templates that we've chosen to come in to clear as a part of our soul mission. There's no more space this year for moving forward with our head in the sand for anything. This level of being in truth and authenticity from a soul perspective is so loud, and you're probably going to feel it in the inconsistencies of vibration of others too. So be aware of that and how that can highlight and reflect things coming up for you to look or identify or to refine. But it's also this mismatched frequency, because we're all going through different levels and layers consistently. We're moving through frequency bandwidths. And so you may find the need to be in your own space or in your own energy to process some of this, because it's so much. And it's not necessarily got to do with anything else or anyone else. It's just that while you're moving through big shifts, being in an energy, your own energy space to expand or to release or to do both, because it is a 2-part process, is probably very, very important. And so it's about honoring and giving yourself that sanctuary, and as and if and when you need to. Bear with me, I'm just going to open some fresh air. Okay, all right. So allow yourself the anchoring point. And I'll talk about anchor points. Anchor points are so important. It's when you're moving through these big shifts or pressure cookers, and generally they don't last more than about 3 days. And it's like we go back into the old reality. It's like we've had a taste of the new, we've encoded, and then whatever's coming up or at us, because there's still that layers of interference, but they have a vibrational resonance of showing us things that we're excavating. So it's like with the truth frequency, it's like, where have you given your power away? Where are you out of alignment with your integrity? And this isn't a judgment. This is just purely, how can I be more in my own authenticity? How can I become more of my true origins, my true self? And as I say that, I really want to give voice to the Lyran frequency that has been screaming loud at me for days. It's like, it feels like it's probably not, but it feels like every session there's Lyran beings. And when I say lion beings, feline beings, they're not necessarily of Lyran origin, but they're coming through loud and strong. And I feel like they were part of the original seeding. I don't know why this made me so emotional. A lot of them oversaw the seeding of Earth. There's a dragonfly, just in, if dragonflies are your thing. But there's such a big metamorphosis going on. There is a seeding, a reseeding that's happening within us, and a lot of us hold the original origin coding. And it's such a powerful, palpable energy that holds the honor, the integrity, the abundance, the leadership, the authenticity, the love, the pure, pure love. And it's a love frequency that's beyond this earth realm. And it's so powerful that when it ripples through you, it brings uncontrollable tears, not tears of sadness. Please don't misinterpret my raw emotion right now. It's the frequency of love, of what's coming, of what wants to break us open, because essentially that's what it does, whether it comes through another person or through our soul origins. That is the power that we're bringing back to this planet, and that is what is going to heal what has been shaken up and rattled. So what's happening on the energetic template is going back to that point of, if it goes back to the point of conception, or if it goes back longer than that, wherever we were at a vulnerable place where we weren't in our power and we got taken advantage of, where we allowed anyone else to control us or enslave us or disempower us, take advantage of us, that's coming up really loud in the collective field too. And it's like, when that comes, it brings in this extreme rage or roar of like wanting to reclaim the voice and the power. And that's what erupts within us, and it's almost like we recalibrate. So it's like these old energetic structures that have been in our energy field, in our energy centers, and going through our internal core are literally being dismantled so that we can reignite the original coding that has always belonged to us, that we are taking back. We are not only taking back our power, we are taking back this planet and this entire universe. This new harmonic reality is real, it's tangible, it's palpable. I've spoken to so many people who are feeling it, not just in an outer body experience or a dimensional space. It's palpable in everyday reality, through the air, through the light, through the color, through the expression, through the feeling, through the sensation, through the smells. We are the living embodiment of that, and we are bringing that here. So find your anchor point, find your stillness, that place in nature or your special sanctuary place that you can go for at least 5 to 10 minutes, if not an hour. Give yourself the time and space that you need to be in this process. Find support if you need support. Find someone that can hold the space for you if you're moving through these big shifts and changes. And the 3 steps of shifting from this reality that came through my dream, I think I spoke about this on Todd, but it was like letting go of the past, surrendering and letting go of any attachments that we've had to our old lives, our old outdated versions of ourselves, old timelines. Clearing the energetic template, which is what I've spoken about, excavating that. And then showing up in our most authentic, soul authentic version each moment and each day as best we can. So this is really shifting and changing so much. So I want to send and extend my love and gratitude to each and every one of you for what you're doing as a part of that process. I think I'm going to wrap it up, but just to let you know, I will be holding and hosting a soul activation on the 17th. So this is for clarity and creativity. This is clearing the sacral, the third eye, to be able to see clearly the pathway and what we're working with in holding that reigniting of the spark of creation or co-creative energy It's so important. So if you'd like to join me, the details will be in the description box. If you would like to connect with me for a soul alignment session, please, I would love to help facilitate that. If not, I will connect with you in some capacity, perhaps in the next video. And I just want to know that I want you to know that I see you. I see each and every one of you in what you're doing, in the shifts and the changes that we're making. It is so, so profound. So thank you for being on this planet at this time. And I send you all my love.